This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this is a roundup of news coming from London. We're going to start with the most recent story and then we're going to go back because there's a lot of news to catch up on. So there's a lot of different stories and I really do appreciate you sending the stories, and please like the video or even dislike if you don't like the content or the way that it's told, and please leave feedback if possible. The first story comes from Croydon and it's a murder investigation that was launched after a woman aged in her 70s was found at 10:40 in the evening on Wednesday the 21st of June, so this was yesterday. Thank you to Dave Nathan for his coverage from the scene that shows police and forensics trying to gather evidence after they've now determined that it was foul play. Drone footage from UK News in Pictures shows the scene where forensics and police have cordoned off the road, which is Ladbrook Road in Thornton Heath. A post-mortem examination is due to take place, and the London Ambulance Service said they were called to the reports of a woman found dead in her home, and there was nothing they could do. She died at the scene. Detectives from the Crime Command are leading the investigation, and they would like anybody that saw anything suspicious in the vicinity of Ladbrook Road to please contact the police. Detective Inspector Kate Blackburn said, "We're in the very early stages and I'm urging anybody with information to get in touch. This elderly woman has lost her life and it's important that we establish what happened. Her identity is yet to be revealed, but we'll definitely keep you updated on that and the progression with this case and the investigation." On the 13th of June 2023, police were called at 1 minute to 10 to reports of a stabbing inside a residential property in the Wembley area. This was on Nield Crescent. Officers attended along with the ambulance service and 2 females were treated for stab wounds. Despite the best efforts of emergency services, a 27-year-old woman sadly died at the scene. A second woman aged 28 was taken to hospital with stab injuries and they were later assessed as non-life-threatening. 2 people, a 24-year-old male and a 23-year-old woman, were arrested at the scene on suspicion of murder. The male remains in custody and the woman has been released without further action. A 23-year-old man who officers previously named publicly was located in Harrow at 6 o'clock on Thursday the 13th of June. He was arrested on suspicion of murder and taken to a North London police station. Detective Linda Bradley said this was a fast-moving investigation and they would also like to thank the public for everybody that has come forward to help with the investigation. They recognise that this is a significant concern to the community and they'd like to reassure everybody that they have a dedicated team of detectives trying to establish what happened. Forensics was seen entering a residential block. There is a child's bike outside as well. Nothing to say that that is anything to do with the situation, but it just goes to show that children would have been present or they will be aware in some way that there is some sort of incident inside their apartment block. Search dogs were also used as well to try to gather evidence that could be later used to convict whoever they believe is responsible. The latest update in relation to the Wembley murder is that a man has been charged. The victim has been named as Tajazweenie Confirm, and the attempted murder of a second woman also took place at the address. Kevin Morass from Nield Crescent, who's 23 years old, was charged on the 15th of June. Also, the attempted murder of a second female. He was remanded in custody at Uxbridge Magistrates Court, and the charges follow police being called to the address on the 13th of June. 2 other people were arrested in connection to the investigation, but they were not charged and they were later released. So this story has progressed very fast and we've already got a charge, and I'll definitely keep you updated on the trial that follows, because at the end of the day nobody really understands the motive as to why this woman was murdered and why the other woman was seriously injured. So please pay respects in the comments and I'll definitely follow this up as soon as possible. In another murder that took place in Croydon on the 13th of June, police were called at 4:14 to Thornton Heath and they were made aware that a man was injured at the junction of Malthorpe Road and Sandfield Road. He was aged in his 20s and he was found with multiple stab wounds. Police performed CPR and requested assistance from the ambulance service. He was taken to the hospital but later died the day after on the 14th of June. No arrest took place when the murder initially occurred, but the victim has since been identified as 20-year-old Usman Mahmood, who lived in the local area. His next of kin was informed, and a post-mortem examination on the 15th of June determined the cause of death to be a sharp force trauma, otherwise known as a stab wound. The investigation is led by Detective Inspector Mike Nolan from the Homicide Unit at Metropolitan Police. He said, "Our thoughts are with Mr. Mahmood's family at this unimaginable time. I have assured them that me and my team will do everything we can to bring them to justice, whoever is responsible. A young man has lost his life, and we are trying to identify anybody that was involved. We believe Mr. Mahmood was stabbed inside Thornton Heath recreation ground before running out onto Sandfield Road and falling down. Even several days later, there has not been any arrests in relation to this murder. This is a very unusual series of events. Most of the time, somebody is arrested for something quite early on in the investigation, but this doesn't seem to be the case here. So we'll definitely keep you updated if anybody is arrested and charged, and the trial that will follow on from that. And my condolences to the family of Mr. Mahmood. So really appreciate you joining me for these updates. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Please don't forget to like the video. It really does help to support the channel and to push it up the algorithm whenever it's shadow banned by any of the social media owners. And don't forget to follow on social media at Scarcity Studios on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok and Facebook. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. Peace.